Hi guys, if you're starting to plan your trip to Israel and you're looking for budget tips, then this video is for you. Before people come to Israel, they are concerned with safety issues, but once they are here, they see that Israel is safe, but they meet the real problem, and that is that Israel is expensive. Now I'm going to share with you 10 tips on how you can make your vacation in Israel cheaper. My first tip is take into consideration the Hagim, the Jewish holidays, when you are starting to plan your trip. Now you already know that on holidays the prices of hotels and flights is more expensive, but what you may not know is that in Israel most of the holidays are by the Jewish calendar, and I've written a post about the Jewish holidays, when they are and what you can expect, and I will leave the link down here. Now of course it is really nice being in Israel on the holidays, on New Year, on Yom Kippur, on Pesach, but if you do come on the Jewish holidays, then book well in advance. My second tip is the low-cost flights to the desert, to the Negev. Most flights will land in Ben Gurion Airport, which is in the middle of Israel. But if you're coming in winter, or if you plan to spend most of your time in the desert, then you might check if there is a low-cost flight to Ovda, Eilat, or Ramon. The new Ramon Airport should be opened this year or next year, 2018-19. So it is definitely worth checking, especially if you are from Europe. By far the biggest expense is accommodation, and hotels in Israel are very, very expensive, the prices of New York and London. The good thing is that there is an alternative, hostels. In the last couple of years, some great hostels have opened up in Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, and other places in Israel, and all offer private rooms with bathrooms, so you don't need to sleep with people that you don't know. And it's like a 3 stars hotel, but the prices are half. Another thing is that in all the hostels there is a kitchen where you can cook by yourself, so you don't need to eat outside in restaurants, and the atmosphere is great, and the location of the hostels is also very good. I've written a post about the best hostels in Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, so you can check them out. Another great option, and this is the cheapest option, is Couchsurfing, where you sleep in other people's homes and it is for free. If you don't know this site, then I will leave a link down here below. Another great way to save money in Israel is to eat street food. Now, fruits and vegetables are cheap in Israel, but the prices in restaurants are very, very high. The good thing is you don't have to go to a restaurant to enjoy good Israeli food. There is great Israeli street food. Now, unlike street food in Europe or in the US, the Israeli street food is relative healthy, a lot of fruits and vegetables, and sabich, falafel, shawarma, hummus are just great. It will cost you around 20 something, 30 shekels, so $7, $8, $9, and you are full. Now the prices of alcohol in Israel are absolutely ridiculous, especially in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. You can pay up to $10 or even 10 euros for a beer in Tel Aviv, so always look at the menu, always look at the prices before you order. In 2011 there was a wave of social justice protest against the high prices of basically everything, and as a result of that, new coffee chains have opened up, coffees that sell a cup of coffee for 5 shekels, so it's about $1.50, euro, 2 euros, and they also have like small snacks also for €1.50, something like that, and it's not the best coffee, it's not the best burekas, but it is really okay. Public transportation in Israel is fairly good, and the prices are also okay. Like inside the cities, inside Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, a bus ride will cost you around $2, 2 euros, and between Jerusalem to Tel Aviv it's I think 16 shekels, so like $4 or $5 euros, really okay. One thing that you need to remember is that in Israel there is no public transportation, so no buses and no trains from Friday afternoon till Saturday night, And if you want to go somewhere, then you need to take a taxi, and the prices of taxis in the weekend is very expensive, so take that into consideration. I like to recommend a local SIM card. Now in Israel there is Wi-Fi everywhere, every hotel, restaurants, sometimes in parks and outside there is Wi-Fi, but still if you come for more than a week, I would recommend buy a SIM card. Now I can't tell you which one to buy because there are many different companies and it changes every couple of months, but it really makes your life much easier, especially if you are renting a car and you want to go from point A to point B. Then if you have internet, you can use Google Maps or Waze, which is an Israeli app, and it will take you there straight away. You don't need to use maps, and I think that eventually it saves you money. My next tip is very simple. Walk. Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, and also Haifa are really small, much smaller than the big cities in Europe or the US. And if you take a hostel in the middle of the city, as I recommend, then you can basically walk to almost all the important places. Another tip is Haggle. Now, in most places in Israel, in 99.9% of the places, it is a fixed price, but there are a couple of places where tourists go. The flea market in Tel Aviv or the market in the old city of Jerusalem, where the prices is determined by the face of the tourists. And if you don't see a price, then you need to Haggle, and basically they all sell the same thing. So if you see something, ask for the price, but never buy immediately. Look as if you're not interested, or walk away and maybe come later on. But in the old city and in the flea market, and sometimes also in the Carmel market, you need to Haggle. My next tip is about tours. Now, tours in Israel are basically a must. In Jerusalem and Tel Aviv and other places, if you don't understand what you see, then you cannot enjoy the places. I've said it in many other videos. Most of the sites in Israel are not impressive. It's not like you stand next to the pyramid and doesn't matter if you understand it or know when it was built, it was impressive. In Israel, most of the sites like the Wailing Wall or the Church of the Holy Sepulchre and thousands of other sites, if you don't know what it is, then the places are not impressive. Now, the best way is to take a private guide, but this costs a lot of money. The good thing is that there are other options. In Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, there are also the free tours, which basically show you the important places in the city. It's about 2-3 hours tour. Now, I have to say that I don't like the name free tour because these tours are not free. They are tip-based tour, and what the guides don't tell you is that the guides have to pay to the company $2-3 on every person that comes to the tour. So the tours are good, but if you do go to one of these tours, then pay like $10 or so per person. Another great affordable way to understand the sites in Israel is to buy my booklets. I've written 3 booklets, one about Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, and the Judean desert in English and in German, and they are just great with a lot of good information, I think. But I will definitely say that in Israel, do take tours. It is worth the money, and I'm going to do another video about different tours in Tel Aviv, graffiti tours, food tours, bicycle tours, so make sure you subscribe to my channel. My last tip is planning. Now, when you're traveling, there are always surprises, but from what I've seen, and I helped thousands of travelers, people that plan their trip, that know what they want to see, that know the opening hours, that know how much things will cost, enjoy more and pay less. As a budget traveler myself, I must add that traveling is all about seeing new places, meeting new people, trying new things. It's not about saving money. I met quite a lot of travelers, mostly young Europeans, that take pride in how little they spend. Coming to Israel and not visiting museums, parks, not doing anything makes the whole trip pointless. So there are ways to save money, but again, this is not the purpose of the trip. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoy this video. If you did, please help me grow my channel and subscribe. See you in the next video, and bye for now.